Member for McKellar.
I move the motion standing in my name.
Member for McKellar.
The 15th of October of this year marked the 200th anniversary of the death of Polish, American and Australian national hero Tadeusz Kościuszko. To commemorate this momentous occasion, the Polish Sejm, equivalent to our House, proclaimed 2017 as the Year of Kościuszko. And I am honoured to present a motion recognising Kościuszko's monumental contribution to the universal quest for freedom, liberty and equality. Involved in not one but two revolutionary movements, Kościuszko has come to embody the defiance of tyrannical authority characterised by the Polish people. His genius in the battlefields of Europe and North America, in pursuit of Polish and American liberation, played a large part in shaping the evolution of military tactics, and his exemplary leadership made him a model for others to aspire to. As a young engineer in the Continental Army, having been inspired by the American desire for independence, Kościuszko was instrumental in redesigning and shoring up American fortifications, ensuring that the British advance was halted. Back in Poland in 1792, as a general, Kościuszko's valiant attempts to defend Polish sovereignty resulted in his forces defeating a Russian army 5 times his size. Described by Thomas Jefferson as being as pure a son of liberty as I have ever known, Kościuszko's message is not confined to the historical context of Poland, nor is his legacy relevant only to military tacticians. Rather, he has come to represent the fight for universal values of freedom, liberty and equality. As both a leader of the Kościuszko uprising in 1794 and a senior figure in the American Revolutionary War, Kościuszko championed the cause of not only freedom from tyranny, but also of emancipation. Throughout his life, he paid little regard to the distinctions of race, culture and religion that was so prevalent at the time. While serving in the Continental Army, Kościuszko's earned the trust and respect of Native Americans. Applying his values of tolerance and respect for all humankind, he acknowledged the mistreatments of Native Americans and actively combated the scourge of slavery. He fought against injustice and discrimination throughout his life, even when it came at the expense of his own personal relationships. Kościuszko steadfastly pointed to the inequalities and faults within his own community. A close friend of the American founding fathers, he long detested the mistreatment of African Americans and their subjugation within the slave trade that was rampant at the time. Kościuszko decided he could not abide the perpetuation of what he saw as a cruel practice and made repeated attempts to improve the conditions of forced labourers, including those of his friend Thomas Jefferson. Such was his altruism and dogged determination for equality that in his will, Kościuszko set aside his estate to buy the freedom of as many slaves as money could buy and to ensure their education and continued well-being. Above all, Mr Deputy Speaker, Kościuszko was a man of unwavering integrity. In Poland, he was a vocal advocate for the equality of Poland's peasants and religious minorities, as well as for the fair treatment of women. And this in the 18th century. Unquestionably, Tadeusz Kościuszko was a man ahead of his time. He fought for values and freedoms that most of us take for granted in Australia today. Freedoms that had not been accorded to mankind equally. Freedoms that are still being fought for in many countries around the world today. As part of the rich tapestry that is our great country, Australia is home to a large Polish community. Our first Polish settler, Joseph Pataski, arrived in 1804. Since then, the community has grown to over 180,000 Australians. Over 1,000 Polish Australians live in my own electorate of Mackellar. To them, as to many others, Kościuszko's legacy is significant and certainly enduring. A national hero, Kościuszko is seen as a standard bearer of the Polish character, one of resilience, strength, courage, compassion and defiance. Through these values, and by sharing their own culture and history, the Polish community has had an immeasurable impact on our own culture and what it means to be an Australian today. The legacy of Kościuszko cannot be overstated. Many might in fact not know that our nation's highest peak is named Mount Kościuszko after Tadeusz, as we call it Kościuszko. The famed Polish explorer Paweł Strzelski thought it an apt name because he saw the mountain as a fitting tribute to the general's indomitable spirit, stating, "I felt I was among a free people who appreciated freedom." The Kościuszko Heritage Group, based in Sydney, is vital in keeping this flame of Kościuszko's legacy alight. Promoting the life and achievements of Kościuszko, the group plays a vital role in encouraging the celebration of Polish culture and history, as well as the large contribution Polish Australians have made to the national fabric of our great country. Organising community events and producing radio shows and documentaries, the Australian youth for generations to come helps to preserve the Polish identity for all Polish Australians. Deputy Speaker, our relationship with Poland is as enduring and unwavering as Kościuszko's legacy. In fact, this year marks the 45th anniversary of the establishment of Polish-Australian diplomatic relations. And in May, we were honoured to receive the Polish Foreign Minister, Witold Wazakowski, to mark our enduring cooperation and continued support for the values of Kościuszko championed. Throughout our shared history, we have cooperated in our desire to ensure liberty, equality and progress. Australians and New Zealanders fought alongside the Polish in World War II, in the liberation of Italy and many other nations. The Battle of Mount Montcassino reflected the values imbued by Kościuszko. Outnumbered and outgunned, Polish forces carried forward his legacy with tenacity, fighting for freedom from oppression and persecution. Following the war, countless Polish migrants helped to secure Australia's economic future through the construction of the engineering marvel that was and is the Snowy Mountains scheme. Our continued cooperation can be seen to this day, with Poland and Australia both being major partners in the global coalition against Daesh. Mr. Deputy Speaker, it is clear that even today there is a lot to be learned from Kościuszko's life. The freedoms that he fought for are still not a reality for all. We must hold up his message and legacy and recognise Kościuszko as a beacon for the values of freedom and freedoms for all.